Hello everyone, my name is Sumit Saxena. I am AVP Digital with GeoDisha. Recently, result for 12th class exams are out across multiple states in India, and a lot of families and students are under constant pressure about their rankings. Now, a lot of these students already been through many state and central engineering or medical exams. Now, the biggest worry for them is that what kind of rank they will get, what kind of college they will get, and what type of trade they should choose in order to get a prosperous career for next 30 years. Now, to answer these questions, we invited Dr. Rajanikanth Aluvalu in our studio today. He has 22 years of experience in education domain. He is IGIP certified international engineering student coach. Also, he has 150 plus research paper written under his name. Along with that, he also did his PhD in cloud computing. At present, he is working with Symbiosis Institute of Technology, Hyderabad, as a founding director. So, Professor Alu, welcome to the show. Now, the very first question I have for you, since the results are out and a lot of students already been through multiple engineering exams, the very first anxiety is about ranks. What if these kids could not get top ranks? Now, families feel if they are not able to get top ranks, their career is wasted. What do you think? What could be the right approach and mindset in the case of not so good rank?
See, this is something we generally observe among the students and parents. A lot of anxiety in entrance examination ranks. When it comes to engineering career in India, there are institutions which vary in a broad spectrum. We have IITs, NITs, we have universities, which are state private universities, deemed universities, autonomous institutions, and private engineering colleges. And in this broad spectrum, there are colleges who are doing good competitively equivalent to the IITs and NITs from the deemed universities, private universities, as well as autonomous and affiliated colleges as well. So not getting a rank doesn't mean that's the end of a career. There, the parents and the students have to choose an institution where they can get an admission without having a good secured rank, but the institutions which are really doing good. So there is always an opportunity for them to go for or opt for an institution which can make their career great, even not having a rank.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you, sir. Another question in every parent's mind right now is what type of trade they should choose. Now, every WhatsApp family group says CSE is the best, and you are the best person to answer that question. Now, they say either computer science or no other, because only computer science is having good packages, good career scope in India especially. However, the question is, how about those students who are interested in civil, mechanical or non-computer related or non-tech related trades? Is it worth changing their trade just because WhatsApp groups or family and peers are saying so? What is the current reality about the trade?
See, when it comes to choosing a specialization, yes, no doubt. Earlier, there was a confusion whether to opt for CSE or electronics, mechanical, civil. And now, the confusion has further increased with respect to the CSE allied programs as well. Let me first make it clarified. Currently, the industries are looking for the multidisciplinary engineers, not interdisciplinary. I mean to say multidisciplinary, who have a specialization, skills in various domains. And when it comes to choosing a program, now institutions have started offering majors, minor, honors programs. So when it comes to choosing a CSE program, so they can go for a minor of electronics, minor of mechanical, minor of civil. If a student has taken mechanical engineering, then he can go for taking minor in computer science, etc. So definitely not just a specialization, But opting for major, minors, and honor programs has become mandatory for an individual to stay competitive in the market. But when it comes to the CSE and allied programs, I always recommend choosing the core CSE program if a student want to keep his opportunities broader open. And if a student have decided to become a specialized engineer before he actually take an admission, then I say he can go for CSE AAML, CSE Data Science, CSE Cybersecurity. I mean to say the BTech CSE keeps them with the broader opportunities which they can take decision at a later time of their program, but going for a specialization will make them go for narrow down. So keeping an understanding of this, a student can take a choice.
Oh, that's very insightful, sir. Thank you. Now, another a very common situation I have seen mostly on social media, WhatsApp group. Now, colleges are claiming they are giving 1 crore package to a fresher. And as an Indian parent, they feed that data in their mind that 1 crore is the benchmark. But I'm very sure that's not the reality, and they start comparing their own kid with the other student and the other college benchmark. Now everyone is getting 1 crore, and that creates a lot of anxiety and pressure on the kid who is already struggling to get a job. So what is the current reality? Are they really getting 1 crore? Everyone having that kind of package in colleges now?
See, when it comes to the placements, the parents or the child has to look at what is the mean package that particular institute has offered for the batch just passed out or the recent batches. Because the mean package will give an understanding on the average CTC that the children have got who actually got placed. And when it comes to the higher packages, they need to look at what is the kind of job role those students have actually opted. There are students who actually opt for some service sector jobs which actually pays a higher packages. But these jobs are really not going to help them prosper down the line. People always need to restrict to their domain. People need to restrict to their own specialization and actually into the product development companies that in the long run will help them prosper in the career and move to the higher positions.
Okay, that's a great insight. Product development companies versus the service sector jobs. Okay, great, sir. Another very important question. There is a student who got lower rank and somehow got IITs and IITs as a choice, but there he is unable to get his preferred trade. However, he got another international university specialized college offer where he is getting a top I would say trade, what he always wanted to go for. So whether this student should go for IIT and IITs or he should go for the specific university where he is able to get the trade which he really wants.
I always recommend the student to go for a university where actually he is getting the specialization that he is looking for. He should not actually compromise with respect to the specialization which he is really looking for.
All right, sir. And it doesn't matter if they are getting another opportunity from IITs?
Yeah, it actually doesn't matter. There are a lot of institutions, universities who are doing fairly, competitive with these IITs and NITs. The student has to look at the processes, the practices these universities and institutions are doing and has to go for a choice. But he should not compromise with the specialization which he want to go for.
Great. And there is a major confusion between autonomous versus affiliate colleges. Most of the parents and students don't understand that difference, and while they are choosing a college or a trade, they really don't understand they should go for autonomous colleges or affiliated colleges. Some insight about it would really help.
See, when it comes to the engineering colleges or institutions in India, higher educational institutions with other than universities, they fall into two categories. One is affiliated, the other one is autonomous. Yeah. Of course, autonomous and affiliated both actually are affiliated to a university. But when it comes to an affiliated institution, they do not have a freedom to design their own curriculum. Whatever the curriculum that the university has prescribed, these people need to offer. But when it comes to an autonomous institution will have a freedom of framing their own syllabus. So they have an autonomy in designing a curriculum. So now, most of these autonomous institutions will take the advantage and will come up with latest, the industry-ready curriculums, and not just the restricting to the curriculum. They offer lot of audit courses. They offer lot of skill-based courses, and which is really going to help the student in learning beyond the curriculum and coming up with the industry skills. That's where most of the children actually opt for autonomous institutions.
So talking about curriculum, another question is, now I see a lot of college and universities are offering a specialization in cybersecurity or AI. Again, as a student who is, let's say, 17, 18 year student who is going for engineering, whether he should choose, for example, CSE, or whether he should choose a specialization in AI or cybersecurity, because right now his understanding is at initial stage, and whether he should focus on building the basics first and then go for a specialization, or he can go for dual specialization at the same time.
This is an interesting question. Actually, now when it comes to an engineering college, the admissions, the students come from diversified geolocations and the institutions they come from. A student comes from a state board, from CBSE, ICSE, etc. Now, the schools have started even equipping the children with the computer science technologies, terminologies, and courses. Now, if a student who already have an understanding of computer science foundations, and he had already made a mind to become a cyber security specialist, to become an AI engineer, such students can actually go for those specializations. But whereas a student who is not having a prior computer science knowledge and awareness and has not opted for any such courses during his schooling, I always recommend them to go for the Core CSE program. But when it comes to the CSE and the allied specializations, earlier were the days where we used to have undergraduation and for the foundations and post-graduations for specializations. But now, because of the fast track mode of learning, the specializations were also brought into the UG mode. So now a student is actually going to get a specialization in his 4 years at his UG program itself. And this is again really required by the industry. But still, opting for a core CSE or going for a specialization depends on the child understanding before joining that particular program.
That's a spot on analysis. That's very useful. Okay, one more question in the similar direction. Now, there is a student who got an offer from an engineering college, which is government engineering college, but in a remote location. He got another offer from a prestigious university, which is a private college, but it's in location like Hyderabad or Mumbai or Delhi, like in metro cities. So how important is this close proximity with the industry is important for a student, whether he should go for government college because of its reputation, or he should choose a college which is in close proximity of the industry over there. What is the right decision there?
See, when it comes to choosing an institution, there are two factors where the child has to look. One is the industry close to that institute. The next one is the alumni of that particular institute. So in your case of government engineering college or university, which is located in a remote location, the student has to look at the alumni strength and alumni interaction of that particular institute. And if an alumni of that institute is giving back, of course, still it is going to be a right choice. Otherwise, always joining an institution which is in some city and close to any industry sector is always a good choice, because now internships has become mandatory. And we always expect a student to learn and practice while on campus. And this practice comes through internships. And having an industry in close proximity will always help the student in getting internships and gain the practice skill while on the campus. So always recommend for institutions within metros.
Yeah, makes sense, sir. Well, another question about the location itself. So there is a student who wants to pursue his master's from some foreign university, and as a IGIP-certified international engineering educator, what do you recommend? Whether this student should go for undergraduate program with some state affiliated college or with some university which already have international alumni relations, connections, and have the specific curriculum implemented already. What is the best approach for this student in order to flourish further in his career?
See, when it comes to an exposure, we are not preparing engineers for India. We are actually preparing the global engineers. When nurturing the global engineers, they need to have an exposure of the learning, the practice across the globe. Obviously, they have to choose an institution having the good global immersions, global pathway programs, and having a lot of global interactions and understandings. This really helps the student in getting an opportunity to interact with the foreign professors, go for study tours, internships, and will get an understanding of the learning and practice across the globe, such that the graduate will get nurtured as a global engineer by the end of the career.
Great, sir. Great. Okay. Another fear in most of the parents' mind right now, and professionals as well, to be honest. Now, AI has a rapid evolution happening across all of the domains and industries. Here specifically talking about computer science engineers. Now AI can code, AI can build website, AI can help building apps and all, right? So do you see a threat in the future for these engineering students, or they should start learning something else which can help them in fit in the competitive space in the future? What is the right approach here?
See, I still look at AI as a tool. And still, I look at AI as a narrow AI. There is a long way for the general AI to come. And as I'm saying, AI to be looked at as a tool, there are a lot of opportunities the young engineers are going to get if they are equipped in using AI as a tool, not just depending on AI for their works. So that way, I look at a lot of opportunities to come forward for the individuals when they actually start using AI as a tool.
Okay, sir, got it. Now, before we close our session today, is there a message you want to give to the students and parents who are watching this podcast?
Yeah. One last message for the parents is while taking an admission, if your child gets a good rank in JEE and gets an admission in IIT or NIT, that's fine. But if not, take a wise decision while taking admission. Look at the university, the institute which you have shortlisted. Look at their rankings, the professors, their research profiles, the incubation centers, the center of excellences, the kind of alumni network that particular university has. By summarizing all these factors, go for taking an admission into an institution, and an institution with all those facilities will definitely nurture your child for a global engineer.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for this insightful session. And we'll come back again with further podcast with the similar and important questions in our decision-making series. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.